Right, so hopefully you've watched those videos on YouTube about side bone shoes. So here we have a side bone shoe. Obviously this one's hammer finished, needs rust up. This is out of 1.5 inch. To be honest, you'd probably normally use this day and age, unless they were doing lots of heavy road work, you would go for 1.3/8 inch. As you can see, literally from the toe clip, you can go a bit beyond there if you want, but it's chamfered and basically follows that wear pattern all the way to the heel. Okay, we've got the two plain stamp nail holes at the toe, 4 on the inside. Okay, you can put 3 in it, doesn't matter. But if you notice, the quarter, there's a lot of bend around the area of the toenails. Okay, but it's very straight further back, whereas on that side it follows the contour of the foot. That's very straight. That's the shape it needs to be. Okay, nice strong clip. Okay, obviously it'd be boxed off a little bit around there, just to stop it from pulling. Okay, but so that's the general idea of the side bone shoe. Obviously I will ask for you to make one for next week, so we can have a look at it. What we're going to talk about now just like to point out, it's very hot in the forge today. What we're going to do now is we're just going to talk about bar shoes, okay? Because obviously we need to concentrate a bit more on our hockey stick technique. Some of you asked about, obviously how much you would turn over and stuff, so I'm just going to literally go through that a little bit. Now I know this is roughly a 13.25 inch foot, okay, so I'm just going to show you how we work out. So, how we're going to put the bar on. So, we'll put 1 inch on the foot, obviously, there's 1 inch there. So, let's imagine where the corners, obviously it's a bar shoe, we're going to give it width, length, we're going to give it support. So our corners are going to roughly be just about where the tips of my fingers are there. Okay, so if we measure that distance, we're looking about 3.25 inches. Okay, so half of that, if we go halfway to centre of the bar and out to where we want to go, again we're looking about 1.75 inches. Okay, what I always say is always turn over an extra quarter. So with that in mind, we're going to turn over 2 inches and we'll spin one for this foot. Okay, reason I say turn an extra 1/4 inch is because when we forge it down into forged corner, we don't want to stretch it and lose material. We want as much material as we can get there, because that's got to support the foot. Very often when you see a bar shoe on the foot and it don't fit, most people, like for example when I did an associate exams, most of them fail at the bar shoe, not because they're not big enough, but they're too big. And you can see too much heel on the inside of the shoe, so it's not supported. The heel's going to just collapse around the bar shoe. So 2 inches, 13. Three and a quarter. So I'm going to add some actual measurement. So I'm actually going to add to me a measurement, 3.25, so that's going to give me 16.25. Okay, got some 1.3 here, so 16.25. There. So like I said just then, we're going to mark 2 inches from the end. And we're going to mark the inside border. It's important we mark the inside border, because that gives us more relative representation. Right, now I'm going to make this shoe, I'm going to hockey stick it on the straight so you can really understand to get these hockey stick right. The secret to this is if you forge one, forge your other hockey stick, look at the two. Which one's the better one, okay? Because they've got to be a pair. So if you make your second hockey stick and you look at it and it's a lot more crisper and a bit more concise than the other one, then get the other one back in the fire, knock it back into itself, square it up if you can. Right.
Yeah.
Switch on camera.
I am.
So, find a dot, then turn the material over. Obviously you want this part here straight, so come on there, Byron. Get on, straighten it up. I'm air hitting it, I'm not squashing it. Okay, send that back over a bit more. Keep it flat, keep it level. So you can see there, we've got our dot, so we've got 2 inches that side of it. Right, so the hockey sticking process is really important, it's about control. So as you can, let me just grab my pencil, back where you were, Byron. As you can see, we've got a big round radius there. Well, we want to turn that into a sharp corner, okay? Because that's where we're going to get our width from. Also, if we've got sharp corners, it actually makes adjusting the bar once we've made it a lot easier. So what we're going to have to do is force this down there. Okay, and as we're doing that, we're pushing that meat into the bottom of the anvil there, keeping this hand flat on the anvil. Okay, so we're pushing that material into there, we're giving ourselves width, like we're jumping into that corner. Again, we're going to widen this surface as well, because that's where we're hitting. And that's going to give us, obviously, for our frog plate. But don't worry about that too much, because that's where we overlap it to weld it. That'll also double the material itself. When we're forging this down, this hand needs to be kept straight on the anvil. This hand, we need to hit that back corner and push that back corner diagonally across the section, and that will push the material into that corner there. So just get it hot and we'll have a look at that happening. You need to get close, like as you can to there when I'm forging there, so you can really see it. Right, mate?
Yeah.
Obviously by holding this in the hand, doing it on the straight, we can hold it in the hand, we can keep control over it, and also we can spin it around to do the other side and rectify if it's not correct. So we should be able to do this in one, maybe two heats, okay? No, I'm coming in, I'm hitting it softly, but you see where it's forcing it down. I'm hitting it hard now. As soon as it starts to bend, hit it square, hold it down, push it down, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. See it going down. Now it's starting to get that corner there. Hold it flat, pull it in. You can see how fat that is now. Well, that's giving us something to forge. So I'm going to start to forge. I'll actually get it hot. I'm never going to hit that corner. I'm going to hit it there, and I'm going to hit it there, over this part of the anvil. That will round it off on the inside and start to pull that corner. So I'm pushing and pulling into a corner.
Yeah, the phone's really warm. The phone's really warm. Back in the position or?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I've got it over the edge of the anvil, and a nice small bit there, so hit there, hit there, hit there, hit there. You see it start to forge that corner now. Keep it flat, keep it at 3/8. If I need to, I can get it back up on there. You get in that corner. That's what you need. You notice, you can see that the dot, obviously as we forged it down, it's run away a little bit, but it's okay. We've got enough material in there. So we'll do the other side now quickly. pull your ring out again. Okay, here we go. Right, same again then. Keep that part straight, that's really important. To the required angle, we're going to get it hot again and forge that down. Okay, so straight away. Punch that knee down into it. And get over there. Leave that corner alone, already the corner starting to forge out. Okay, so straight away, we see we've got a round on the inside, we've got a corner, and we've got a bit more material for our frog clip. We've got the same kind of proportions either side. Yeah, corners are in the same place, same amount of mass of material. So all we're going to do now very quickly, I'm going to whack a toe bend in it, bend the branches, then set out for welding. We'll go through that. Again, really important that we actually get our toe bend symmetrical, because more than any other shoe, if it's not symmetrical at the end of it, it's not correct. The only way to get a symmetrical shoe is to have a symmetrical toe bend. Okay.
Stretch my hand.
Right, Camille, if you're watching, I will set up this evening, let's say about 6:30, a quick tutorial just to go through a few things with yourself. I'll do that Microsoft Teams. Obviously, if you can't make that, let me know. Right, so. the toe bend in the right place. Just going to turn the branch and set up, obviously, that side for welding by scarfing it. Remember, when we weld, if we're right-handed, it needs to be left over right, like so. That makes a massive difference. If you do it right over left, as you hit it, you'll just push the material away, it won't stick. Here you go. Get closer. Closer. For God's sake, boys, switch on. Okay, so just going to bend the middle part of the branch. Okay. Past you, you see it already. Just come around here, bar, and just shoot through there. Come in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about just under a quarter of an inch. I'm going to lift my hand so there's that corner's pushed in, and then just hit there, and one at the centre. There you go. We've got a nice little step in it now with a slight incline on it. So that's one side done. Just going to repeat that on the other side.
The phone's hot. To the point where I'm having to move my fingers because it's burning. Oh.
No, it's not.
For me it is. I thought you just...
Obviously make sure we keep it nice and clean. Okay, so again we're just going to repeat that phase again. Turn it from the heel to the quarter. Push it round. Don't push it round too much because we've got to scarf it before we get to that point. Because once we've turned it, we can't get in there on that side. So again, highlighting the shoe. This is where we start to shape the shoe up so it's symmetrical. Now, what we're going to try and look at now is look over the shoe. We want a nice bit of overlap in the middle there. We can overlap it a little bit more if we wanted. Okay, but we're looking at the symmetry of the shoe. And if I look through that, which is a little bit more bold there, so by the time I send that on, that will also just give me a little bit more so it's touching, there's not a gap between the two, they're pushed in each other. Right, so we're going to scarf up, so we're going to flux up. Before you flux, make sure you shake the magic flux, only works if you shake it, only 3 shakes will do. So when we flux up, we're going to make sure there's no air gaps between the two. Okay, so we're flat, the scarf's in the right place, we've got enough overlap. The shoe is symmetrical. When we flux it, we want to be fluxing it at a red to an orange heat. Any hotter, it's just going to drip straight off. Any colder, it's not going to stick, it's going to fall off. All weld, it's about getting an even heat, and it's getting the heat in the centre of the material. So you've got to make sure you keep turning it. Otherwise, it'll just burn on one side. Okay? If it's too hot, don't worry, because that will keep soaking itself in, and you're more likely to get an even heat. Get it really, really clean. Because all this scum off it, especially with some of the coke we get these days. And it's the same process for forging in the gas fire as well. With iron man. Cool down a bit. Okay, so now we're going to flux up. So all we need to do is get our flux and just literally just pour it around all the joints. That includes the front, the back, and either side. So there's not a load on there, just enough. Okay, so I'm going to get in the fire now. Get up to welding temperature, but obviously make sure you keep turning it. If I run a weld, just stand there. You'll be alright, okay? Closer, 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 closer. Keep going, that's it, lovely. Okay, so we want nice even heat. Really soak it in there, get it. You don't want to be sparkling too much, we just want to be on the verge. So that is a really good heat. Okay, I'm going to come out and we've got the bomb, ready? Boom, boom, boom. I'm sorry, boom, boom, boom. Now get on the hill into the crease. Push the crease until it goes. Same there, push it in, push it in, push it in, push it in, right in. Okay, and then straight over the top. Okay, hit the middle, like so, then hit there. That's the secret hit people forget about. Protect your corner, same on that side there. Hold it in the right place on the beak, hit the centre, catch that corner. Straight away, look at that. Yeah, straight away, the corners are there, the material are there, you're not sloshed anything. Okay, and then literally go around, level it all up. Now you've just doubled the material there, so we need to make sure you forge that down. Make sure it's 3/8. Okay, we've got a little bit of scar in there still, that's fine. We'll get a little bit of magic powder on it while it's still red. It's actually welded, so you get it back in the fire again. Okay, we get it back in the fire again. We just very lightly tap where them scars are in the material. We'll get rid of that, and then we start forging the frog clip, etc. Some of you obviously either overdid your front clip or you didn't do it enough, but I'm going to show you a couple of little tricks now. How to get that perfect. The machine's welded, I ain't got to worry about anything now, just don't burn it. Don't mess it up. Okay, so nice little sparkly heat. Straight in, hitting the hammer, just on that little scar edge, just tick tap, tick tap, tick tap. And again on that side, tick tap, tick tap. Okay, now give it a brush. Now we're working all that scum in. Okay, so again, straight on the top, I'm holding it there, hitting flat on the top, to the corner, to the centre, back to the corner again, tip tapping that outside corner. Same on the other side. Okay, same spot the handle, tap to the centre, to the corner, from the corner, back to the centre, tap, tap, tap on that side. Now, if I'm like there, there's a frog clip, just need to centre stabilising a little bit. Okay, and then come around here, Byron. Get a perfect, decent frog clip. Note how I've got it over the bit there. I want to get flat side of the hammer, and you know how you draw a clip with the heel of your hammer? And just drawing the heel there, all the way down. Okay, that started coming out. Then I get the round side, and I just blend it all in. Blend it around the back. Obviously the reason we do this is because it's on an arena surface, that's going to act as a bit of a jarring break. So we want to take a sharp border off. Okay, go on there, go on. So, what we've got there, bare essentials, is the shoe's relatively symmetrical and flowing. You know, obviously by the time we fill it, we'll put a lot more flow into the shoe. The key thing is we've not lost any width across this area there. If that's all there, the heel's probably going to fit there and there. Okay, so we've got all that support either side of that. Okay, think of the frog. Okay, the frog's going to go in there. Okay. And we're going to support that part of the foot. We can get in there, get another heat on it. We could crispen this up a little bit more, but I've got plenty of material. Or I can just get in there with a half round file. Okay, but from now on, I will probably get the footing in there, get the nail holes in there, and go from there in 2 seconds. The key thing is, if I go to that foot now, this is what I call quite a safe bar. If I go over to the foot now and the bar's too wide, I've got 2 options still. It's not set in stone. By getting a good heat on the bar, hanging it over there, pushing in with my knee and punching that in on itself, I can close the bar up, okay? I can put some material back in the bar and grow the frog hook. Obviously you better turn it around and do the same thing on the other side and close it up. Worst case scenario, if it's really, really wide, and I actually did this on a mock exam from the associate all those years ago, when the bar shoe was too big, was I literally, at this stage, realised it was too big, got a cutter, cut out a thin sort of 1/2 inch strip in the middle, overlapped it, welded it again. Straight away, the bar was the right size. 2 different methods. If I go over my bar's not wide enough, I've still got plenty of material in there, then by getting on there, I can stretch it out a bit more. Worst case scenario, I've got all that frog clip, which isn't necessarily needed. I can work some of that back into the bar. Okay, but it's a good, safe, solid bar. There's plenty of room to do stuff with it. And it's going to provide the horse with maximum support. So let's have a quick look at it on that foot we measured it against. For the start, let's see if we've got that part of the shoe covered. Okay, so let's look.